Okay, so this is the intake manifold for the 45 after I cleaned it all up. So I took the nuts and I ground them flat on my disc grinder over here and knocked off the burrs. Clean them up a little bit. I'm not going to worry about filling holes in and stuff like that. Later on I'll probably paint these either black or silver and call them done. Nothing fancy. This one here's a little bit curious with a chisel in it. The threads, everything looks pretty good, so those are nice. These don't look too awful bad, but if they leak, they leak. It's one of them deals. The intake manifold, it's not too bad on the one side here, but you can see the rust corrosion through here. Now the seal's over here, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem, but that's what you're looking for on these. The key thing is you want to make sure there's not a big groove like this, right here where the seal goes, which sits right in here. So right here it makes a groove right through here where it's kind of shiny right there. That's where it tends to eat through. Let me put this up on a tripod and I get a little better view here. Clean off the material off here, you can see better. So now you can see the rust in there a little more and you can see where the wear mark is. So this here, the way this works is this taper nut in here, push it on this taper here inside the nut when you tighten this up on the bike, and it does two things. It pushes against the edge here, which seals the intake manifold against the head, or the cylinder in this case, and then it also pinches it down right here, which makes it tight around this flange or spigot. So you want this to be tight like this. Now when they get worn in here, then they get loose, they don't work too good. So this one here, just put that on there, put your seal back on there like that. And it goes on down. It's a relatively tight fit, which is what you want. And what you can do is you can take these and put them on a table, run a little sandpaper on here, get a nice flat surface, helps. That will help seal the surface here. You can also do the same thing on the cylinder and make it work. So you want these to be a relatively tight fit, but not so tight you can't get them on and off. Nice plug fit like that. That's what you're after. Like when you tighten these up, they get tight on there, and that's what seals them. So they actually work pretty good when they're done correctly. No big deal. This here is pretty rusty right here. This needs to be surfaced right here to get some seal out of it. They also tend to warp a little bit when you over torque them, so go ahead and knock these down, smooth it up a little bit. So this is just put some sandpaper on the table and sand the piss out of it. I'm not going to do that now. I'll do it later. So the cylinders. Here's a 45 cylinder. This is a trike one, early trike. So this surface right here is what needs to be flat. That's what the brass seal goes against. So when you get all this rust in here like that, that's bad for sealing, because that's what this brass edge here seals against right here. So this goes in there like that. And it just threads on. So this cylinder here obviously has not been cleaned up at all. So it's not in the best condition for that. So it goes on there like this on the bike. So got to start a little bit, but there's a lot of rust on the cylinder obviously, so then that doesn't want to go on. It needs to be cleaned up obviously. But anyway, it goes on there like that. So it looks like on the bike. So they go like that on the bike. Obviously that'd be more centered up. But that's where they go. So you just tighten up against the flange here. This tightens up and that's what seals them. So but you got clean threads. Can't have nasty looking threads like this. So like I said, you're going to have to get this nice and sanded flat. Sand this surface here flat. And then as long as the nut goes all the way under like it's supposed to, you shouldn't have any problems. So anyway, that one's all cleaned up. It doesn't look too bad. So this here is a military manifold, so a stubby one. So they started using these in 41 or 42. And they had a spacer went on here. When they ran the big rectangular air cleaner, oil bath air cleaner, they put the spacer in there. I don't know why they did that, because the early manifold is taller and it's the same height when you're done. So you either have a 1/2 inch spacer on here, which is actually a bit thicker than half. It might be 9/16 or so. You know, whether you have that on there, you have the long early manifold, which is the dash 36 manifold. So I don't know why they did that, but this is the combat manifold, basically what you call it. It's the short stubby one. If you want to get more leg clearance in your air cleaner, put that manifold on it and moves the whole carburetor in. Gives you more clearance. But it's not the best for flow because it's a pretty sharp edge right in here to make the turn. It's not good for flow, but here's what it is. So anyway, so that's your two different manifolds. So I don't have a copy to sample to show the other one right now, so all I got is just the one. So all right, there you go.